Okay, hello folks. My name is Finn Berger, lead anchor here for FNN, and due to popular demand, I am releasing an election map and giving you my last-minute commentary on it. We are now just 2 days away from the election. This is my election map in the bottom left corner. Blue is for Kamala Harris, red is for Donald Trump. My general consensus, Kamala Harris is ahead in the Electoral College, but the election remains very close. This could come down to recounts, lawsuits. It could be one of the closest elections in modern history, with perhaps the exception of Bush v. Gore. I don't know if it gets much closer than that. And I'm going to take you through a run through of where I think each of the big 7 swing states are going, which I'm classifying as states that are within the margin of error in the polling average. These are generally considered to be Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Georgia, Arizona, and Nevada. And I'm going to go through why I have each state where I do. So my electoral college count is Democrats at 286 and the Republicans at 252. That would be the closest electoral college final since 2004. And I think in the states that tip it across the line, whether it ends up being Pennsylvania, Michigan, or North Carolina for Kamala, in my mind, I think it will be very close. So for the traditional blue wall, which Donald Trump did defy expectations and broke in 2016, my money has it all going to the Democrats for 2 factors. One, I think Tim Walz kind of just still carries a Midwestern appeal that is favorable, and I do think that is not going to help tip a lot of votes, but might tip the necessary votes over, as well as the fact that in that area, early voting and polling data have looked good for Democrats. Now, my second group, Nevada and Arizona, I actually am kind of on the other side. Shifting Hispanic demographics have helped Republicans gain ground in Nevada, a state that Hillary Clinton won in 2016, which was really her only quote-unquote good victory. The Republicans are also getting very positive early voting numbers out of Clark County and surrounding areas in Nevada, and polls are definitely showing that they're leaning towards Republicans. So the 2 states I haven't talked about yet, North Carolina and Georgia. I'll start with the state of North Carolina. The reason that I have it going blue is because the gubernatorial nominee, Mark Robinson, has made some controversial comments in the last month, including calling himself on a pornographic site a black Nazi. And I think he is down by 15 to 20 points in polls. There are a lot of, the polling average there is 46, 47% for both Harris and Trump, but the general consensus of polling averages for the gubernatorial race has the Democratic nominee Josh Stein in the mid-50s and Robinson in the high 30s and low 40s. And my mind is that there are just, in the way that this election year works, when it is just generally you vote on the ballot, you will vote down the line, some voters feel compelled to do that. I just think that what he has done has kind of dampened a lot of Republican chances in North Carolina. Georgia, it is a really close state, and we have had really only one super competitive election in Georgia. It was generally a red state. The polls are just leaning slightly to Republican side. My gut is saying that Georgia is going Republican. And then the one other note. So one of the most consistent pollsters in the last few years is named Ann Selzer, and she released a poll for her state of Iowa yesterday. Now, she was the one when people were showing Iowa as a real swing state back in 2016 and 2020. She was the one who came out with Trump being ahead by 7 or 8 points. He won by 9 in 2016 and 7 in 2020. She has a poll putting Kamala 3 ahead in Iowa. Now, that would make stuff very interesting there. I still have it going Republican because I find it hard to see Kamala Harris winning Iowa, but if she does, that really brings the Midwest. I think that's pretty much guarantees a Kamala victory. My Senate map will be out soon. The one other thing, when are we going to know the results of this? So I say that most of the states, even if we don't get votes in, are going to be conceded based on how they usually vote. For example, states such as California and New York and some of the big Republican states, Indiana, Texas, although it is shifting bluer. But here's when I think that each swing state will have their main votes in. Wisconsin and Pennsylvania have generally been pretty all right, and by the wee hours of Wednesday morning, I think that they are going to be about 95% done with their vote counting. And so I'm not saying that we'll know a winner because I think it's going to be so close, but I think that there will be enough to, at least in 2016, there were calls made on those states in the wee hours, and that's when they are expected to be done counting. Michigan is looking like it might take a little longer. North Carolina and Georgia have been very consistent in recent years. Those two in Florida, which could quite possibly be put into shock play. In the Senate, it's looking a little closer. Those 3 states are generally very fast at getting ballots, and we should have 95 to 98% in by 10 p.m., which most Americans will still be up for. Nevada and Arizona, I don't think we are going to get comprehensive results until Wednesday or Thursday. We are only going to know about 50% of the results by 1 or 2 a.m. Eastern, which is the time zone I'm speaking in. So I think that when will we know the winner of election? Well, if it's blown out enough, we could know by 10 or 11 p.m., and we might not know till Saturday or even later on. Saturday was when we found out in 2020. My name is Finn Berger, and thank you for watching.